Hello and welcome to another video of mine. It's Kamal Leblay, and this is another Chelsea news video of mine. I'll be giving you guys a massive injury update news, giving you guys all the latest news surrounding Chelsea. We do have an injury update. It's not positive, unfortunately, and that will lead me on to a massive talking point in this video, is that should Chelsea sign a winger in the winter window, the January transfer window, and who? It's a mystery. Who should we sign? Which winger should we sign? I've got a list of targets that I'll be delving into, looking at their stats. Would they suit Chelsea's system and their style, Frank Lampard's style? I'll be delving into the Champions League last of 16 draw, which will be conducting and taking place on Monday, 11 AM UK time. So I'll be giving you guys the list of teams that we could potentially face in the round of 16. Again, delving into all the news. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts, opinions, and who do you think we will face in the last of 16. Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comments section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into the first part. Let's talk about the draw, the exciting stuff. We drew to Krasnodar midweek, 1-1 at home. It was a dead-end game. We would already secured, UCL knockout qualification, and we'd already secured top spot. So even if we lost that game, we would have got top spot anyway. We didn't lose the game, hence why we rested a lot of our key players. Werner was rested. Kai Havertz was the only first-team player in there. Kepa was playing, Jorginho was playing, Emerson was playing, Azpilicueta was playing, Christensen, Tomori. So it was really good to see, our squad depth utilised, our substitutes utilised, and giving our first-team players a rest. And we got a draw, so we topped the group, and that means we do have a list of teams that we could face in the last of 16. Now the teams goes: Borussia Mönchengladbach is a potential team we could face. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Atalanta, RB Leipzig, and Porto. So these are teams that we could potentially face in the round of 16. Who would you guys want us to face? Now, for me, personally, it doesn't matter for me. If you're going to win the competition, you've got to play everyone. So for me, you've got to play the best if you want to actually win the Champions League, which should be all of our aspirations. So for me, it doesn't really matter too much. But if there was one team I would say I would definitely want to avoid, that is Atletico Madrid. It's not that they're amazing, it's just they're cancerous. They're a terrorist group. The way they park the bus, we know what Simeone is going to do. 2 banks of 4, low block, mid block, keep it tight, defensive structure, solidity. We always struggle against Atletico Madrid, especially when they're in their low blocks, essentially parking the plane, and you're going to struggle. Going to Vincent Calderone is going to be difficult. So for me, it's one team that I would want to avoid. Even if we did get Atletico Madrid, could we beat them? Of course we could. It's just right now, I'd rather avoid them. I'd rather a different team knock them out, because they are, again, they're a very frustrating opponent. I'd rather a different team. Barcelona is a potential team we could face as well. Now, the case of Barcelona is that, they're in turmoil. They lost 3-0 to Juventus at home the other day. They're in a complete mess, with the Messi situation, the Messi saga, the Ronald Koeman. They're 9th in La Liga. They're really struggling domestically and even in the European campaign as well. This is one of the weakest Barca teams from my memory. Easily, in over a decade, this is the weakest Barcelona team. They're far, far away from being one of the best teams in the world like they used to be. They've got the pedigree, they've got the stature, but they're nowhere near as good as they were before. Now, bear that in mind. Don't forget, these round of 16 games will be played in February, so there is still 2 months for these teams to, gain a bit of momentum, some form. So don't, get too excited if you get Barcelona. I still believe we'd beat them comfortably if we pulled them. But again, they could easily improve. If they have a successful January transfer window, they could easily improve until then. So we need to be very careful. But again, avoid Atletico Madrid. Now, one team I'd love to face is probably Porto. I think they are the weakest out of the teams that we could potentially face. I know there's Atalanta and RB Leipzig, but I think Atalanta and Leipzig are a level above Porto. So I'd rather Porto if I did have to pick a team. So we'll have to wait and see on Monday who we get, but hopefully we do get a relatively good team, a nice, comfortable fixture to give us a nice, easy route into the quarterfinal. So we'll have to wait and see who we get. But who do you guys think we'll get? I think we will be getting Atalanta. I would want Porto, but I think we are going to get Atalanta. That is just my thoughts, opinions. But now let's move on to injury update. Give you guys an injury update now. Frank Lampard is holding his press conference tomorrow. But this is essentially news from, connected journalists, Nizar Kinsella, Matt Law. And they're essentially stating that, we already know from, Frank Lampard's last press conference that we know Hakim Ziyech got injured last week against Leeds. Now, he is going to be out for a minimum 2-3 weeks, which essentially rules him out for the Christmas period, which is extremely frustrating. We have a very condensed fixture list. We're playing every 2-3 days. You know, you need your whole squad fit because you need to rotate consistently. And with Ziyech injured, it doesn't help our position. And, you know, we are very stacked in our team. We have a lot of depth, but one area that we're not, you know, stacked in is the winger department. We've only got 3 wingers and 2 of them are injured. So it is really scary stuff, you know, with Ziyech. He's injured for 2-3 weeks. Callum Hudson-Odoi has got a bit of a niggle as well. We don't know the extent of his injury. Hopefully, you know, from what I'm hearing and my understanding, it's not too serious, thankfully, but he is going to miss this weekend, which is a massive, massive problem, meaning Pulisic is our only fit winger. And then getting on to Pulisic is, it looks like he's got another hamstring injury. Now, it's not an injury as such, but what Nizar said the reporting is that it is a bit tight. He felt, you know, a bit of stiffness after the Leeds game, even though he scored. It's frustrating because I've always said for time. I made this video a few weeks ago, in fact 2 months ago. I'm really worried about Pulisic's injury records. You know, he had this, you know, this reoccurring hamstring problem, this adductor injury back in his Borussia Dortmund days. You know, he was out for a good 3-4 months in his first season at Chelsea. He's been injured twice already this season, and we've only played 11 Premier League games, so it is frightening. You know, he's giving me Ousmane Dembele vibes. So skillful, so talented, but that hamstring is so dodgy. You know, someone needs to donate their hamstring. Who's going to take one for the team? Because seriously, you know, it's such a precious area. You know, when you damage it or if it's faulty, it does end careers. And, you know, we need to be careful with it. We need to nurture it, look after it, make sure that if it's tight, we need to be careful. Now, I know we are desperate to play Pulisic because we haven't got wingers, but I personally wouldn't play it. You know, I would rather drop points against Everton than risk Pulisic being out for another 2 months. I generally would. I think that give him another week to really rest his hamstring. If he genuinely did feel some stiffness out, he's not injured, he just felt a bit of stiffness, but that is not a good sign at all. You know, hamstring, you've got to be really careful. So for me, this is why I'm proposing this talking point. This is why I'm proposing this question to you guys is, should Chelsea be signing a winger in the January transfer window? Should we be dipping into the market? Because, and I've got a list of targets here, because we've only got 3 wingers, 3 registered wingers. Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic. Now, you can have Mount and Havertz playing there, but they're not out-and-out natural wingers. I don't like Mount on the wing. You know, he's really limited there. Same with Havertz. We need a proper winger if we were to sign one. For me, I've got 3 targets. Adama Traore, Lorenzo Insigne, and Podence. 2 of them are from Wolves. Now, starting off with Traore, we know how good he is. Premier League proven, got the Premier League experience, strong, physical, you know, can deal with the physicality of the Premier League. His end product has improved significantly in the past 2 Premier League seasons. His passing is good. You know, he's one of the best dribblers in the Premier League. He's got fantastic dribbling attributes. His, you know, pass completion, his dribbling success rate, his take-ons, simply world class. And for the depth, I don't think he's starter quality, but to provide the depth for us during this, you know, for the second half of the season, especially if we wanted a title charge, for me, he'd be a fantastic signing. Now, the only negative of Adama Traore is 2 things. One, he hasn't got the best end product. I know it's improved, but it's still not up there to be elite. Secondly, it is going to cost a lot of money. You know, how much are Wolves going to command? He's easily Wolves' best player. So if Wolves are going to command around 50-60 million pounds, would you spend 60 million pounds on a backup winger? You know, he's not going to be starting for us consistently. He's going to be more for squad depth. He'd be world-class squad depth, but for me, it's too much money. I don't think Adama Traore would be content with sitting on the bench. Another one is Podence. Now, the problem with Podence is I've listed him because his qualities had a fantastic start to his Premier League career. He signed from Olympiacos in the summer. He's been fantastic. He's finishing, he's dribbling, he's, you know, he's tactically astute. He's, you know, a fantastic runner of the ball, has a nice eye for a goal. And like I said, he's very skillful. He's a very talented player, has a lot of technical ability. But again, because he's just signed, would Wolves allow him to leave now? I don't think so. And then you've got Lorenzo Insigne. You know, we've known him for a long time now, world-class winger, edging towards the age of 30. But again, the price is a problem. You know, he's a world-class winger. You know, he's dribbling, he's finishing. He's simply one of the best wingers, you know, in Europe essentially. But again, it's the price. Negotiating with ADL is a different story. And the problem with the January transfer window is that it's mid-season. It's mid-season, so teams are very reluctant to let their best players go. And for me, if we could sign Insigne for depth and, you know, rotation, he'd be simply world-class. But I don't think it's realistic. I think that there are other targets we can go for, but those are 3 that matches Frank Lampard's, you know, system. You know, I've done research on this regarding statistics, Premier League proven, fit the system, fantastic for squad depth. But all 3 of these is the major problem is price. But if there is a winger on the market that you guys like to sign, please leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. Which winger do you think Chelsea should sign? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But I'm going to wrap up the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video. Remember to smash like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.